Hey, good afternoon everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make Aloo Sabzi, which is a very basic Indian dish, also known as spicy potatoes. For this, you won't need a lot of spices, so you don't have to stock up too much. Hopefully you'll have most of these around the house, and if not, you won't have to buy too much if you want to experiment and try this. You will need cumin seeds, black mustard seeds, turmeric powder and red chili powder, and some salt. And for the recipe, I've got a 5-pound bag of potatoes here because I'm planning to use half for this and half for something else. So depending on what you can get, 2 to 3 pounds of potatoes, I'm using 2.5, a red onion, and some green chili peppers. I got some jalapenos here. Now, before I give you a list of ingredients, a word of caution. If you're new to Indian cooking, start small on the spices and work your way up. Because it could be a little overpowering all at once, especially the red chili powder. Half the bag works out to about 8 medium-sized potatoes. I'm just going to wash these and cut them in pieces and set them to boil. I washed the potatoes and cut off the bad bits and chopped them in pieces. Now, you'll notice there is still starch in the water. There's a couple of ways to make this. Some people like it very dry. I prefer mine a bit mushy and sticky. I mean, sabzi is made in many, many different ways, so do it how you like it. But if you do want it a little gooey, you should leave in the surface starch. You want the onion in fairly large pieces. I find it easier to slice it this way than stand it up. See, because it will fall over, but you can still grab it and cut it in nice wedge bits without hurting yourself. Generally, I would get gloves for peppers if I'm working with them for a while and taking all the seeds out and touching them a lot. This one, I hardly touch it at all, so I'm not too concerned. Just take the ends off, cut down the middle, and chop them in segments. If you touch just the outside, you should be fine if you just wash your hands after, but as a general rule, don't touch your eyes or other sensitive regions. Everything goes in the dish, seeds and all. I'd set my alarm for 15 minutes. Let's just get a paring knife and stick it in. They're cooked all the way through. So take these off the heat. Fill it up with cold water. That's the quickest way to cool them off and drain them without burning yourself, which is always nice. I filled up the pot with cold water, and the advantage of doing it like this is that the water is cold enough you can stick your hands in, but the potatoes are still warm enough that you can just take the skins right off like that with a paring knife without losing a whole bunch of potato. Because if you wait till they're too cool, the skins will stick and you'll lose quite a bit. All the potatoes are peeled. There's a couple of bits of skin on a few pieces, it doesn't matter. I did that first piece for the camera angle. Honestly, the easiest way to do these is right over the water and then just pick out the potato peels after you're finished peeling everything. Start heating up a pan over medium-high heat. Now, I do not use non-stick for this because it just is a little too sticky as it is, but you're really better with stainless steel if you've got it. So, one lovely thing about this recipe is there's no precise measurements. You can't make a mistake. And since the spices are to taste, as long as you don't overdo it for yourself, you're great. So basically just enough, oh I don't know, what would you say that is? 2-3 tablespoons maybe. Yeah, pretty good. And since the measurements aren't precise, I'm not actually going to use a measuring spoon for this. I'll just use a dessert spoon or a teaspoon. Now just put your hand over the pan. When it feels warm, get a spoon of mustard seeds and just sprinkle those in. And wait. They will start popping shortly. I'll zoom in so you can see a few. You can hear them, and they're starting to fly all over the stove like popcorn. So at this point, I get the cumin seeds. Now for this, I put 1 spoon and a bit. Start stirring that. Might want to turn the heat down a little. And the ceiling fan on so that doesn't burn. Toss in your chili. And your onions. Saute that for a few minutes until the onion softens up. If the pan is looking too dry, toss in a bit more oil, just not too much. When the onions are soft, but not completely cooked, get the potatoes. Cook those for a few minutes and get a spoon of turmeric. You can see already the bottom of the pan is starting to stick up, and these are way too dry for my liking. Some people like them like that, I don't. So just got some water. I use the bowl the potatoes are in. This will cook off, so don't worry if you put a bit too much. Just don't turn it to soup. And all the stuck on stuff will come off in a minute. And you'll get a bit of gravy in the bottom. And you'll see how fast that thickened up. So we can give it another shot. Just for you to look at, because as I said, this will cook down. So even if you're brand new to this type of thing, just relax. It will come out. Salt it. I use Himalayan pink salt. You can use whatever kind of salt you want. And last but not least is the lal mirch, which is the red chili powder. And this is very much to taste. This was actually a gift from someone who had gone to India. It tastes very nice. So give that a good stir. You can see that's thickening up very nicely. So what I'm going to do now that everything's in, I'll just turn the heat right down to low and let this simmer until it's the desired consistency. You can see the sides of the potatoes getting rounder. Some of them are dissolving into the sauce, which is just perfect. A little over 5 minutes. If you like lots of sauce, stop now. And what I'm going to do is turn up the heat and stay with this and cook it down so you can see what the really sticky version looks like. Nearly all the sauce is cooked down. And I'll zoom in a bit for you there. You can see how thick that is, and hopefully you can hear it too. There's the finished product. Cooled down a little, but still hot. So that's how I make aloo sabzi. I hope you do try this. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.